There we go. Those shouldn't be an issue anymore. And let's go and destroy the bones. And focus on the Bone Sultanate first. So the Bone Sultanate are the ones calling in Zulu and Brunei into their whole thing. United Kingdom will be allowed to pass through my territory. I just wonder what the hell they're doing. Well, they have a war here against China, seemingly. The Opium War, of course. Always about the drugs. There we go. Okay, so let's take some more of their territory here. And let's get our troops back here. I think the cannons will take a bit longer. Luxury clothes is seemingly a problematic thing to get a hold of. Have they added that recently, or is it just overall harder to get luxury clothes now? Could be. But anyway, we can use these troops without the hussars. Though they're mostly artillery due to... Wait! You as well. Okay, so now there will be a 50-50 split of artillery and infantry. Which is good. Very good. And they're waiting for the hussar here. So yeah, clearly the whole luxury clothes thing is making it very difficult to get hussars at the start, at least. Could we make a... We're not allowed to build factories, are we? But we can fund factories. Not exactly the kind of factories I would have picked myself, but can't be picky. Gotta go with what they have to offer. So the conservatives here don't want to allow building factories, but at least we can subsidize factories. Hopefully. There we go. Most of them at least could go on the ship. I mean, maybe getting... I'm a bit torn here, because cavalry could be useful in making it speedier to occupy, but the cavalry is not strong, so... Waiting for hussars is a better choice, but we need cavalry now anyway. Well, let's go for the capital. Palu. Palu. Come on. Fall already. And it was Borneo. Where is... Oh, Brunei, I mean. They're at war with us as well. Kutai is not. They're actually allied to Lanfang over here. Oh. Lanfang. For some reason, when I heard Lanfang, I was like, China. Perhaps it is China. I don't know. Do you have any culture? Malay? Hakka? Wasn't there some place over here where there was a lot of Chinese? I don't remember where though. Brunei, clearly not. Oh well. Was that later on? No, it was surely before 1838. I would assume that was some... Or maybe you, here. You was over here, right? There we go. Okay, so we found one place here with 4% Yue. Other than that, it's mostly Malay. Oh, here's some Yue again. 6%. Interesting. We're tracking them down. We're tracking them down. And let's transport over the last ones here. And with regards to that, perhaps we should get some more Clipper transports. Just so we are able to transport the entire army in one go when we need to. In fact, this one is a rogue transport. I forgot to add it to the main colonial fleet. So our entire thing will be divided up into two. We will be divided up into three eventually. We will have a continental army and a continental fleet that will protect the Netherlands, Amsterdam, Holland, you know, Friesland, everything else. It will defend the main continental holdings. We will have a second colonial fleet and army that will control our, you know, African holdings whenever we get them. So we'll have African holdings here, African army, African navy. And we will have an Indonesian army and navy. So we'll have everything that we might need. So, South Kalimantan, South Borneo. Well, let's go for that. That seems reasonable. So we got some more things here. We make a bit more coffee and everything is just well. Except that now Borneo is attacking us. So we will have to attack them first. So Brunei, in fact. I was confused Brunei and Borneo for some reason. We could establish protectorate here. It will cost us 15, but would it be worth it? That's the question. It would expand our holdings here somewhat drastically. There's not a lot of people living on Borneo for some reason. I mean, I'm sure there's a good reason for it, but I just don't know why. I'm assuming Borneo was a lot of jungles and stuff like that. Grassland hills, grassland hills. Well, clearly everything is just hills here. Mountain grassland. Jungle. Well, here's jungle. And grassland. So what I'm learning from Victoria 2 is that most of it is just grassland. Most of Borneo is regular grassland, good for cattle. And will the bone sultanates, they will not yield? Of course not. We only have 13%. And they have Sulu and Brunei on their side. Maybe we could get out Sulu. We would destroy the navy and destroy their army, but they're not willing. They're not willing. What a shame. But now we have some hussars. We should probably send them. We should send them too. And here's the last hussar, which is still gathering damn luxury goods. But yeah, send the hussars to help out. There we go. Hussars over here. And send them to the main... No, not the main, but the first army. So they can help out. I don't care if the Bruneian army is actually attacking us, they won't be able to occupy anything of use. So what do we have here? We have mostly militancy in our country, so we will lose militancy. Why do we have militancy? And which kind of rebels? Guyanese nationalists. Didn't know there was such a thing. But we could release Guyana or whatever. Guyana, we could release that. I'm willing to do that, in fact. We will forget Lübeck's debt. Sunda Islands we will not release, and Vehali we will not release. Yeah, so we won't release anymore. So if we manage to... If we do a thing to Borneo to take it over, then we could release Guyana. Because we don't need Guyana. Guyana is not really relevant. Not really relevant to our cause at the moment. 97, 98, 99. There we are. Excellent. How long have I been without research? Oh, only a few days. Okay, so medicine done. Positivism. Sure, one day we will. We actually start with stock exchange. That is excellent. So I didn't even have to research it. We could go with army, we could go with a bit of navy, considering navy will be important, but let's go with railroads. So, usually when I play Victoria 2, I don't really focus on navy at all. It's more like an afterthought in most cases, and one of the last things I will, well, develop. Mostly I'm playing countries that don't really need it, but this time navy will be of very big importance, so we will start getting the naval bases up as soon as possible. We already started a little bit, but it's a bit too late for you, Brunei. We will establish protectorate. It will cost us a hell of a lot of infamy, but it will save us time later. Kalimantan is so weak. Where's the capital of this place? Have we taken it? Bone Sultanate. We are taking the capital. In fact, that's good. Some ships are getting done, which is good. But yeah, navy will be very important. We need to have big ports to be able to reach. Because with this mod, I don't know, it probably is with this mod, even Man of War needs level 1 or greater naval port. And if to get iron steamers, we need to have, or I mean ironclad, we need a port level 3 or higher, so that's how it usually is. So we need to get our naval bases up, and naval bases take, is it 2 years? Maybe 3 years to get done? Can we check? Naval base takes a long time to get built. Let's build one here so we can see. Yeah, 3 years to get done. So 3 years in advance we need to start upgrading everything. That's worth keeping in mind. And then it takes a long time to get the ships up as well, and you need to have the strongest fleet, otherwise you will lose. So yeah, we will need a lot of ships. Right now we have 35 out of 40. So that's fine. I like Christmas and Cocos Islands. Is it really Christmas? Pretty sure it should be Christmas, right? I mean, it's going crazy. Well, here we go. You have won a devastating victory. We negotiate on behalf of everything, and they are merely negotiating for themselves. So let's annex Brunei. A new factory can only be a good thing. Interesting. Let's go with colonial exploitation. We wouldn't be colonial overlords if we did anything differently, right? They would not agree to this demand. Would they agree to a white peace? They will not. Perhaps if they got, you know, something to persuade them of the error of their ways. Perhaps then they would be willing. Wait, what? I got into the population density. By mistake. Of course by mistake. And is that the sound of naval bases being done? Let's hear it. Yeah, it is. Naval base is being done. Excellent. So we don't even have one. Let's go for one in Luvalden. Naval base here. And one in Middelburg. Whatever. Let's go with that. Middelburg. Let's build one there. A beautiful place. Yeah, do we have one? Wait, we did do one in Philipsburg. Yep, so what we need to do now is really to develop so we can make level 2 ones. So let's look here. We need to get this one and then this one. That will allow us to get ironclads. And then we need iron steamers, which is 1860. So we can get that up as well. So basically, we need to get Radio Group Doctrine. It unlocks at 1855. 1855. That allows us plenty of time to actually build up the ports and then get iron steamers at 1860 and be able to start producing ironclads immediately. Ironclads or monitors, either way. They will be better than, you know, men of war. Will they surrender now? They would. Sulu is out. So let's see here. Idealism is up over there. So that's good. Will the Bone Sultanate give up now? They will not. But it will as soon as we capture last remaining territory. The only problem right now is that they are what's called undermanned or understaffed or whatever. Undersupplied. Either way, they can't really reinforce, so they have too few people to draw reinforcements from. And I'm not a fan. So Madura and Madura. If I get rid of one of them. So if I get rid of this one, will the other one be fine? No? Can support 0 brigades. Well, screw that. Where is Madura anyway? Here's Madura. Why have you lost so many people? And why am I not building a naval base over there? Why am I not upgrading all the railroads? Might as well. Won't make too much of a difference here in the colonial lands, but when I can incorporate them as states, they will be prepared. And let's do this work for them. Breda, Rotterdam, Amsterdam, everyone will get some railroad going. We're already up to 71% in literacy, which is pretty good. I'm a big fan of that. And here in the Moluccas, or close to the Moluccas, we're taking down the Bone Sultanate. Come on, Bone Sultanate. This is just taking ages. 4%, 85, 90, 91, 92, 93. Come on, you can do it. 98, and done! Finally we can take them over. And the war is done. The Treaty of London. Shit, now we have to make a decision. While Belgium's de facto independence from the Netherlands had been established. How did I get established or ratified anyway? By force of arms during the Belgian Revolution of 1831. See, I wasn't too far away. It was a couple of years ago. 5 years ago, to be exact. It has not been confirmed de jure, and we yet hold claims over Belgian territory. The British have offered to mediate a settlement. In return for the surrendering of our claims and the guarantee of Belgium's neutrality, we would receive the Rhenish part of Luxembourg as our vassal, as well as a great deal of standing in the eyes of the European powers. That is, of course, if Belgium even agrees to the treaty. So we would get Limburg, is what they're trying to say, and I assume Luxembourg as well. We will surrender and everyone would like us. That is intriguing. And if we don't, everyone will hate us. Yep, everyone would hate us and get, casus bellianus. I don't really see we have a point here, a choice here really. We will surrender our claims. Yeah, we will get prestige, blah blah blah, yada yada. Limburg and Luxembourg is now our satellites. So that's all well and good. And now people want to have Freedom of Womb campaign. Freedom of Womb, let's go for it. Maybe they will be happy now. Alright, so we settle our dispute with Belgium. We settle our dispute here. So perhaps, that's unfortunate really, I wanted to do something more fun. And Prussia, of course, went against us and joined the British. The bastards. It's all fine. So we have the complete Celebes now. Celebes is ours. We have it all. Sweden, why did they go against us? And the Dutch Moluccas we will need to get the rest of. From the Tidor Sultanate, which we will get in time. Portugal has Timor. But not all of Timor. We have Dutch Timor. So yeah, do we have any Dutch people living here in Batavia? Very few, if any. We could actually add, both immigration and immigration. That's something new that either been added by the patch, the 3.0.4 one, or the mod. I don't really exactly know which one adds what at this point. But it feels great being in completely, how should I put it? Like I am now completely updated on where I need to be with everything. When it comes to the mods and the game. And that feels great. That feels just great. Was so far behind for a while there. Playing on a very, very outdated HPM. But it was due to us having the Russia one that needed to be done, and I tried to have 2 versions of HPM on 2 different... I copied over all of my game data into a different folder and added an updated version of HPM, and that broke everything else. Not worth it. So yeah, it feels good now when all the Victoria 2 ones were done months ago. So we can head up with a new start, a new fresh start. With the latest of the greatest. Bali. I want to take Bali as well. But one thing at a time. We need to complete our conquest of Borneo, and we need to take the rest of Sumatra as well. But it will happen. It will happen. We have some decisions that can help out in those regards. Reform the Dutch colonial army. What do we need for that? Naval logistics and Bell and Grace telephones. And we only lose money for it. That seems like a pretty bad suggestion. And the Javanese sultanates. We have invented nationalism and imperialism. Alright, we will go for nationalism and imperialism. Come on, everyone wants an alliance with us now. Was it due to our very, very nice agreement with the British? Is that why? Speaking of the British, how's it going for the intellectuals over here? Oh, that was very nice towards the British. I will have to say, that was very nice towards them. Calling the British intellectuals. What am I doing? Huh, I mean, somehow, like, the Dutch aren't actually that numerous. For some reason I get a feeling like the Dutch, considering how prevalent they are and being mentioned everywhere, and you know how Dutchland is, how should I call it, prominent throughout history, at least the last 500 or so years of history. You would imagine that, you know, Dutchland has like 40 million people or something like that. But there aren't too many duchies, in fact. No, the duchies aren't too numerous, but they have left a mark on history, I will admit to that much. I mean, they had a pretty darn impressive colonial holdings for being such a small country. Compared to, for example, Sweden's very, very feeble attempt at colonial holdings. I mean, even Denmark really made a bigger splash than Sweden. So yeah, Sweden kind of failed in that regard, but the Dutch did not. And we will make sure that the Dutch legacy is upheld here with our alternative Dutch history. So far, I'm not even sure if we're following history too well. I imagine by this point the Dutch would have taken half the world. But we are now climbing up to be a major power. Ooh, look here, it's Belgium. Belgium is right now a major power. What the hell? How is that even legal? Belgium? Are they at war? No, they're not. So maybe because we were at war, that's why we didn't become a great power already. Seems reasonable. We don't even need the tariffs at the moment. We earn enough money as it is. So let's be nice to our, you know, our factories and stuff. And let's help out in funding everything. We need a lot more rich people to help us. Come on, can we get done with it? What the hell? Do it yourselves. Okay, so Holland at the moment. We really need, what we need is not that many intellectuals really, but we need it for Friesland and really Dutch Zeeland. What is not, oh, is Limburg part of Zeeland as well? Okay, so that's why it's called Dutch Zeeland still. We need to get up our intellectuals over there. We only have 1.41% of the population as intellectuals still. So we're not doing too well on that. Somehow we're not doing too well on the intellectual part. But we will manage, we always do. Dutchland will prevail. We have a fairly strong colonial army now and a fairly decent colonial fleet. So when it comes to Indonesia, where we put most of our effort, things are going well. Nationalism and imperialism will be unlocked at 1850, so that's a bit far away. That is a bit far away. However, we can do some other things, such as battleship column doctrine. Seems fun, let's do it. Oh yeah, I was saying that we could release Guyana. Play as. Yeah, I'm not gonna play as Guyana. We can release them, however, and they can be our nice little fellow over here. Our friend. Let's get some railroad going over here. But yeah, this gotta be Sint Maarten, right? And that's gotta be the French equivalent. Because it's the only island I know that splits that in between Dutchland and Frenchies. Sint Maarten. Or Martin. Whichever way. Wait, do we have too many people from the Amsterdams? Current brigade's 5. Well, we're losing men for some reason. Like this one, suddenly a lot of people in Palembang died or something, or went to a different profession. Perhaps if we released all the slaves, then that wouldn't be an issue. But right now they don't really want to outlaw slavery. Suffrage movement, abolitionist movement, 8 people in the abolitionist movement. I am so scared. They might overthrow my country if they get too many people in them. Jacobin rebels, however. Oh, now suddenly, it's because I said that. I taunted them, so 3,000 people joined them. That's a bit scarier, I suppose. But still with... wait, now we suddenly 8 Ottoman Empire. Of course, they just kind of sailed by. Damn Ottoman Empire.